This is Monica, sex goddess, one of many classic shots, even as a lowly mistress. Also, the enchanting style display incisively and vividly. The story begins with a chance encounter. Frank is a can of memory orgasm. One day, he caught the cool Monica on the subway, fingers sticking out of the recovery room. "I'm gonna take Monica's stuff." After going back, he took out something and found it was a notebook, and there's a diamond in it. By convention, Frank should follow the rules. "I don't have anything to do with the guests." But the thought of a glimpse on the subway. He had a baby with Monica, whom he met. A strange mind. So he hung the address from his notebook at the night dance club where Monica works. Soon Monica came on. A cool, sexy creature of God. She's showing off her body on stage, with the clothes off one by one. Down in the stands, Frank blushed and couldn't help but swallow. End of show. He sneaked backstage. I wanted to return the notebook without anyone noticing, but when it came time to act, suddenly a man came in. Frank quickly ducked into the closet and listened to their conversation in the dark. It turns out that Monica is officially a stripper at night. In fact, they are puppets controlled by others. The man in front of you is a gangster named Henry. Because he wanted to usurp the throne, he gave Monica to the mob, using Monica's beauty to steal information. Now, he again ordered Monica to look down on Big Brother tomorrow. Listen to each other. Monica was reluctant, but because of the other side's power, can only obey. But in the dead of night, he would be sad about his situation. The next day, Henry saw Monica into the Big Brother hotel to rest assured to go back. Discuss with your partner a detailed strategy to overthrow your brother. And Monica went through a series of pat-downs. Finally entered the room smoothly. The eldest brother is an old man over 60 years old. Monica knew she had no fight left, so get naked without saying a word. By the time we get out, Monica was so tortured that she could only walk slowly, holding on to the wall. This side, Frank and his two associates have found a new target. 3 people work well together, without even thinking about it. Come to hand. Too bad there's nothing of value in there. Frank was not content to go days without a harvest. I remembered the diamond I stole from Monica, so he took the diamonds to the pawn shop. The other party decided to buy the goods at a high price after inspection, but in the nick of time, Frank backed out to think it's the only connection to Monica. He put the diamond away in anticipation. The next day, Frank shows up at Monica's house. Instead, Henry's men beat the crap out of him. The notebook that Henry will find on Frank gave it to Monica. Monica noticed the diamonds were missing, but there was no publicity. He had a vague feeling. The stranger who swooped into his life. It can be a lifeline to get yourself out of trouble, so he ran after Henry as soon as he left. How miserable it is to be a woman who owns things, just looking for a thief to get his stuff back, to be tortured. Henry's still worried about Monica. Frank, who's afraid to interact with Monica. It'll ruin their plans, so he ordered the hitman to kill Frank. Frank didn't think, there will be people at your door in the daylight. But it didn't take long. He even killed him first. Frank didn't know what to do when he saw a wall of blood, so he called in 2 accomplices. The 3 men talked it over. They put a cap and clothes on the body and threw it into the river. Finish processing. 2 accomplices sent Frank scurrying out of the country, in case they find out and try to kill him. But Frank thought Monica sent the killer. Decided to ask him what was going on. Monica was lying in bed, and Henry put a finger to his lips. Monica was powerless at this point. Can only serve each other well. The next day, Frank follows Monica to a restaurant. Watch Monica enter the bathroom. He followed immediately and dragged Monica into the closet at gunpoint. Monica doesn't know why. I had to beg Frank to calm down. In turn, Frank took Monica to a retreat at gunpoint, quiet place. He confronted him about the fact that he had returned it. Why would you want someone to kill you? Monica didn't think Frank would be involved, but he did not explain, just looking deep at Frank. Finally, Frank surrendered in the face of such a look. Just let Monica go. Go to work the next day. Henry painted his face to cheer Monica up. But Monica was desperate to get away from him, so even if the other side promises he's about to have a good life, his expression did not change at all. But Henry didn't know what he was thinking. Because I got word that Big Brother was about to make a deal with a foreigner, he decided to act on the day of the trade. So he ordered Monica to go and serve her brother, and secretly working for himself. Monica knew there would be a fight that day. If Big Brother wins, his cover will be blown. It might be worse than dead. If Henry wins, maybe when it's done, he'll kill it. so whichever side wins, he's in a precarious position. In order to have a chance, he decided to turn to Frank. Frank and the gang heard the doorbell, on one's toes, but I didn't realize the guns were ready. It was Monica standing outside the door. Two accomplices drove off immediately. Get out of there and give yourself some space. Monica suggested going for a walk. On the way, he rarely showed a relaxed expression. Says he hasn't felt this comfortable in a long time. Then he took out the diamond and gave it to Frank. Ask him to pick him up that day. Help yourself escape the scene. Frank didn't make any diamonds. Just as Monica was dying and decided to leave, he asked which hotel he was trading at that day. This woman is the plaything of the mob boss. If you can't fight, you have to suffer in silence. After being served by Monica, the eldest brother wore a sharp suit to receive the guests. The meeting was cordial. It soon got down to business. After Monica was brought drinks, he hid in his room under the pretext that he wasn't feeling well, all the while looking out the window at Frank's figure. But by now Henry's men were all over the building. See the right time. Henry and his party wore anti-traffic masks, went upstairs, weapon in hand. When I got to the upstairs, when they're not looking, they just shot and killed people in the middle of a deal. Soon the whole room was filled with smoke. When it's clear there are no survivors, Henry goes to the bedroom where Monica is. I saw Henry raise his gun. Monica was shaking with fear, but surprisingly, Henry wasn't after her. He's one of his own men. There were no survivors except Henry and Monica. I knew Monica wouldn't make a move. Henry quickly packed the money on the table into his suitcase, decided to take the money and the beauty and run away, and just walked to the door. I saw Fran approaching with a gun. Henry dared not make a move when his life was in danger. Monica saw it. Get the gun and the suitcase out of his hand immediately. So Frank in front and Monica in back. The two forced Henry to head outside. When turning a corner, Henry gave Monica a hard look back. I don't know how to do it. At the hands of a woman. Coming downstairs, Henry knew the tide was turning. Just stride away without saying a word in order to survive. Monica looked after him and was furious. It is true that he has planned a final escape from the cage. Frank kept watching. A woman who takes her life for herself. Why didn't you think of that? Monica glanced back at him. I just walked out of here with my suitcase. Frank stood there for a long time and could not turn back. I didn't think I would never forget to such an end. But now, all he can do is recite the rules of a thief and do it first class. Be elegant. 2. Don't get involved with the guests. And 3. Trust your instincts. I don't know about this, whether he's gonna believe it or not. My own intuition about women. This is a film with very few lines, but it can still be a compelling movie. There's a lot of Monica footage. It's all naked, sexy, and seductive. Let a person cannot help but sigh that the charm of the goddess is unmatched.